Well, hello, my friends. Happy Friday. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. Oh, look at here. We got Bo, been a member for 5 months already. Thank you, Bo. That is so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, hello to everyone. I hope everybody's doing good, having a great Friday so far. Look at Bobby. Thank you so much, Bobby, for the super sticker. You are so sweet. We love you so much and so glad you're here with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, Bobby. I appreciate you. Well, hello, hello. Let's get started and say all the hellos. Oh, hang on. Let's get this one real quick. Panda Bear's mom been a member for 4 months. Thank you, sweet lady. Thank you for all you do. Love you, girl. We love you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so let me get this pulled up and I'll say hello to everybody that's coming in. Let's pull up this autism awareness because it is the month to remember. Here we go. Hello, Miss Janice. Hello, Millie. Thank y'all for being here. Marina girl, how are you? Hey, Reserve Glitchin'. Hi, Bobby. Thank you for being here. Oh no, he's been out of control. Goodness. Hi, Miss Kathy. How are you doing? Hey, Miss Rhonda. Hello, hello. There's our Panda Bear's mom, Brenda Sue. Hello to you. Hi, Rhonda West. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Magic Star, YouTuber. Thank y'all for being here. Teresa, good to have you. Hey, Miss Janice, how are you? Thank you for being here. Hey, Bo. Always good to have you. Weston, how you doing? Hey, Chit Chat. And Terry DeVoe. Hello, hello to y'all. Let's see. We got Cool Gamer. We got Kai Kai. Is that how to pronounce it? Or is it Kiki? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Show Poodles. How are you? Hi, Pat. Hope you're doing good. Anybody else sneak in here? Look at Miss Janice. All righty. Well, thank you all for being here. Kiki. Okay. Good, good. Got it. Thank you, Miss Janice, for that $2 super sticker. We appreciate you. You're so sweet. We love you so much. Thank you, thank you. Let me get you a little happy dance up in here. How you doing? Good to have you in here with us. Okay, guys, we got some stuff to talk about today, but before we get into our main subject, I got a couple things I want to show you just to kind of keep y'all updated on what all's going on in these streets. First of all, this family here. This is the family, 3 children, a mother and a father that got into that helicopter yesterday. And that helicopter is what crashed. All the family perished. I do have some footage here I was going to share with you guys. Let y'all see this. That is not birds that you see those are pieces to the helicopter falling into the water. So sad for this family. So, so sad. But that is the helicopter that Justin was showing us or telling us about yesterday while we were live. And keep that family, their family, in your prayers. If y'all would, I would appreciate it so much. Hello to everyone in the bushes. Thank you all for being here, listening, watching. I really appreciate everybody. Yes, it was, Lisa. Isn't that something? That propeller piece was still spinning. I don't know. It looked like something happened and pieces were falling. It looked really strange to me. It wasn't as if the whole craft went down in one piece. That's the strange part. But definitely keep that family in your prayer. They just lost 5 of their family members at one time. That has to be horrible. Yes, I saw there was a plane with 3 people that went down in Boca Raton. It was, I think, didn't they go down on a railroad track, I think. Hey, loved ones. Cheryl, how y'all doing? Yes, another strange air accident. But you saw the pieces that were on this side of the river, and then the helicopter itself went on the other side, and that bridge piece in the middle. So, Lisa C., thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So, definitely wanted to show you that because that's the one Justin had shared with us. And then we're going to get into some more things here. Let me see what else I got. Hong did put this up yesterday for at night in One World Media. Hey, Pink Warrior. Welcome, welcome. He said, we just locked down a deal to keep Sebastian's face at the forefront at all games in Philly until he's home. How amazing is that? Every one of those games, 3,000 and up people will be seeing Sebastian's face every time they have a home game. And then he puts, I guess the trolls will call the team grifters too. And actually, they already have. They have accused at night for grifting, for billboards, and they have already claimed that Seth is part of that and getting part of the money. Not true. They're doing wonderful things, and they have partnered up. In every home game for the Philadelphia Phillies, they will see Sebastian's face. And those games go from now until October. It's amazing. They have put this out as well as a banner type. This is what they will be seeing. I guess, I'm not sure, but it's beautiful. It's amazing. It is wonderful. Let's see here. Yes, they will be putting up lots more billboards and other huge places. I saw that, Neuro, and actually, I'm just going to read what was put in my chat yesterday that I did not see. But it was sent to me. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I thought I saved it. But it was a very strange thing to put in the chat but it was by Lindsay Klopperman, and she said Sebastian breathed in exhaust in that garage. No blood. So, very strange, wouldn't you say? Very, very strange. Guys, Sebastian needs to be found. Answers need to start coming out. So, DuckTales 2020 is okay. All right. What did they have to say? Did you put it in there? Oh, I just closed myself out here. It's crazy. What audio, Kiki? What audio? You've seen her, Bobby, making those comments. I did not catch it, but I'm glad one of my mods did. They screenshotted it, sent it to me, so I could see that. What audio are we talking about? Yes, Neuro, if you would, please. Yes. I have someone I can send it to. Hey, Peggy. Good to have you. Hey, Tina girl. Hello to everybody coming in. Thank y'all for being here. Well, let's see. Justin shared it. It was from a neighbor. Okay. I'll have to check with Justin and see what it is. We'll definitely go over it and talk about it. Yes, we need them to speak up for sure. Okay, the audio from the Ring doorbell camera. Okay, I will talk to Justin and get that for sure. I've been so busy with ball games and stuff that I'm missing pieces, and I try to go back and catch everything, and it's been hard here lately. And speaking of ball games, let me share with you a little something. It was a really good game. They lost the first one by a few points, but let's see if y'all can see this really good. They lost the first one by a few points, won the second one. They were down 10-3. And in the third inning, they came back up and they were down 10-12. And they were home team. And they won.
Let us know.
And do you guys know, I know you guys were checking shoes last.
Oh my goodness, I thought I put it on there. Let me see if I can get it on real quick. Because I want y'all to see this. Let me see. Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. Did y'all see my thumbnail for today? I call bull because some of the words we're going to hear, Lord help us. Lord help us. Somebody needs to help us because these people are crazy. Let's see. Let me take that one off. Put that one on. Let me add this. Here we go. Why isn't it? Okay, it's uploading, so we'll wait for it. But yes, good night at the ballpark. I got home a little after 9 last night. I got me something to eat, laid down on my bed, and before you know it, I was asleep. I was supposed to go on Cher's panel last night and talk about summer. Guys, I woke up, it was like, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh man. So I got up, put my nightgown on, crawled back in bed, and went back to sleep. But that's the way it is. when you're a lolly. Let's see. It's still loading. I'm waiting for it because I want y'all to see this. Let's see what y'all got to say here while we're waiting for that to load. Oh, I tell you, I'm loving every minute of it. Hi, Tap Dance Lizzie. Hope Floats. Welcome, welcome, everybody coming in. You get it your tar too. I tell you, it's like tomorrow he plays league ball here local, and then he plays a tournament league too. So they'll be in Houston, and I'm not going to be able to go. I have some things I got to take care of. Justice Mama, I agree with you. Naps should be mandatory as adults. Yeah, Bobby, I love it. I love it, love it. You know, my granddaughter, the oldest one, is not real sports minded, but she really enjoys volleyball. So now, every Tuesday at 5 o'clock, she will have her game playing volleyball. And then the other three are baseball on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays. Sometimes they might have a Friday game. Those are basically for makeup games, rain out games. So, yeah, these kids keep me busy. And my youngest granddaughter got her uniform. She is taking hip hop dance. And she has her little wind pants, her little crop top, sequence crop top. And she was showing me her dance last night. So, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Okay, I think it's loaded. Let me get out there. Okay, let's see if it's loaded so I can share this with you. Yep, this is my lolly life right here, guys. This is my little grandson batting.
He's going to buy those snow cone days.
Yay, my little man made a home run. So it was really exciting. And I just happened to catch that. So, anyways, that's what I do. But, okay, so today, I know a lot of you have heard these videos. We're going to go over it because there's a few things that I need everybody to hear. I need to make sure everybody is hearing these words that are being said. And when you got multiple creators, it's hard to not have to re-listen to it sometimes, but we're going to do it. And I have, thank you, Reserve Glitchin. So, I have sped it up a little bit. This is, it was, I think, Wednesday on QueenBee's channel, and Mr. Chris comes up on panel. There were some things that were said that needs to be heard. Okay. Justin played it last night, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He went over it last night. We're going to go over just a little bit of it. It's not going to take real long. And he was on there last night again. I'm telling y'all, he feels like he's in the clear. That's the way I look at it. He thinks he's on top of the world. Nobody or nothing is going to touch him. And I say, let him keep thinking that. Because the more he talks, the more we catch. So is there everything okay with TJ? Yes, I heard from her a little while ago, but I know she is cleaning out the smaller trailer that they moved out of the way when they got their new home brought in, and she's getting it ready to sell, so she may be busy with that. So, okay. Yes, he slips every time he talks, just like his wife does. It's unreal. Yeah, see, Tina girl, I don't like to, and only do it if I have to. And I try to kind of, if I know one of the parents are over there, I'm going to go listen to it. But there's some things that were said in this one. Everybody needs to hear it, for sure. So here we go. Let's see. Let's go here. Okay, hang tight, guys. Let me put up a banner for copyright, because I want to do this under the Copyright Act, fair use. Let's get that for sure. Come on, show it. There we go. All right, guys, here we go. Y'all listen up, and I'm going to stop it and we'll talk about it. Oh, not that one. Not that one. This one. I pulled up the wrong one. Here we go.
So I don't know. As far as I know, there was no other devices in the house either.
Remember that one girl, Queen? I think she actually had two phones. Like she had the phone that her mom and dad gave her. Then she got the one at school, and she was actually using the phone that her mom and dad gave her as a hotspot to connect to the secondary phone.
To connect to the other one. You know what else though too? That one lady that came up here, she was talking about her teenage daughter had actually took her iPhone and logged out of the iPhone and logged into like a whole other screen that made it like a completely different phone.
Like a whole nother Apple ID.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's crazy. Kids are too smart these days.
Well, I mean,
hell yeah, and then they learn from other kids and then other apps and other games and shit like that. You know, like Roblox and Minecrafts and.
Right.
Becky said, Mr. Prophet, can I ask if Ellie is continuing to get leads daily? I'm from Oklahoma and praying for you, Sebastian's safe return.
Last we heard that they had leads had slowed down. So I don't know if they're daily. But there's, I mean, unless it's of like actual importance or something, like if it's something that's they're actually concerned with or wanting some information on, there's certain leads that if they do get them, we don't know about them. I mean, so to give you an idea, like photos of sightings that people said, oh, this looks like Sebastian, submitted photos. You know, they do forward those photos out. We look at them, yay or nay, and then we submit, like, just give them the answer back.
Clue, did you see that the Koberger hearing was hacked today for a few minutes?
Okay. I pause it here in just a second to skip.
Well, then, was it Tennessee? That's where it happened?
Yeah.
Same school, right?
What?
No,
It was in Portland.
I thought it was the
same
same school.
county.
Yeah.
Same county. Different school. Portland is up north, closer to Kentucky state line.
Yeah.
Where we live is from Portland to our house is probably
30
minutes. 30 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, notice how they are setting a narrative here that Sebastian could have gotten a different phone. He could have used it to make connections, trying to set up all the possibilities that Sebastian left on his own. Of course, that has to be the narrative, right? Hi, CC.
Yeah.
Well, they got a problem with that here. I'm just going to say, and it could be like that in other places. But I mean, there was a lady at the elementary school down here that was arrested for, with the students or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Inappropriate relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell.
Someone in here is worried about Cooterville when Justin is over there handing out pearl necklaces.
What do you mean, Cooterville? Grown-ass adults. What the fuck? You think we ain't gonna talk shit every once in a while? I mean,
Lee Bird, to answer your question, yes, Katie was actually the one who was very adamant about the caves being searched, if I'm not mistaken.
As far as I know,
That's why I don't understand. Excuse me, why some sides are so adamant that it can only be just one thing. I mean, there's There's so many things that could have happened to Sebastian. I'm sorry, Chris, to say this, but I'm sure you are aware of it. But I mean, there's just so many things that could have happened, whether he been lured out, ran away. I mean, there's just so many things. So how can they?
Okay, let me stop this hussy that's talking right now and explain something very plain and very clear. To take the Father's words as gospel, you're a moron, first of all. Second of all, I call bull, because law enforcement has said there is no evidence that that child left that home on his own. So what does that leave? If he was still in the home and did not walk out by himself, that leaves him in his house with his mother. It's a process of elimination. It is not a science research project. It's common sense. When law enforcement tells you a child does not have, there is no evidence, he has no evidence to show Sebastian left that home on his own. That leaves him in the home with his mother. And that is why we question them. And add to that fact, his mother hasn't told the same story twice about the details of him not being found the next morning.
All these YouTubers be just focusing on Chris and Katie. I just don't understand it. It's like, it's just because that's what they get money for, the views,
Well, I mean,
Has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with views. We all want to grow our channel. That's what we love to do. Some of us want to make it to where this is a side job for us. Sure. But to say we're blaming Katie and Chris so that we can get money and views is absolutely wrong. That's what is happening over there. That's what's happening. The child did not leave home on his own. Therefore, he is still in that home with his mother. She said she was there all night. Has nothing to do with views or money. And I'm so sick of them saying that. It's disgusting.
essentially everybody's got to find a bad guy to a story, and it's the easiest way to point the fingers because.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here. Speaking of money, you look on this chat, all that green is paid. All of that green is paid subscriptions. There is one that sneaks in there every once in a while that is not a member. All of the super chats that get put out there to ask questions to Mr. Chris. But yet we're over here grifting. I call bull.
One of the parents was the last one with the child.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So one of the parents was the last one seen with the child. That's one thing. But once you go to bed, if you show me one person that never goes to sleep that has a child.
Right. Exactly.
It just doesn't happen.
Okay. It's one thing that a parent is in the home with the child. But hey, Katie went to sleep how many different times that night, right? And we're supposed to believe that? All those times that she fell asleep, we're supposed to believe that? So, Mr. Chris, come on and tell us, when did Katie have time to get dressed and fix her hair in the 3 minutes that she woke up and went to get Sebastian awake?
Happen,
I think that's the thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was I was out of town. Katie was at the house, and Seth is supposedly at work, and in any given time, you can say any kind of.
Seth was supposedly at work. Folks, if you don't realize by now, they throw out narrative. They use certain words, just as he did right there. He didn't have to elaborate. That tells people that Chris is not sure that Seth was at work all night. Let's plant that little seed in their brains. And those people run with it. But don't worry, we'll counteract that in a minute.
Kind of negative thing you want about any parent, but the facts are still the facts. There's no sign of foul play. There's no evidence to support foul play. So the only difference in all this is you've got a group of people who are driving that negative narrative instead of, looking at it from different angles. Everybody's just got to find a negative angle and point the finger at a person. And it's like, okay, good luck.
Oh, Mr. Chris, but we don't need luck. We have you and your wife talking on YouTube, all comfortable, laughing, all the things. We don't need luck. We just need to listen to you, and we can prove you're a liar.
Right.
Well, they act like he's a toddler, right? Who can't
He's not. He's a
open his
15-year-old
door.
boy, now 16.
Right? Like he can sneak out. God knows, half of us in this chat, if not more, were doing that at 15, probably before.
Wait, we act like he's a toddler. Maybe, friends, let me remind you, the very first interview they did on Duchess. He may have been 15, but he was very young in mind. Mr. Chris himself said his mind was more like a 10-year-old. He didn't go all the way back to toddler, but he did make it out as if he was very young in mind. And why would we have that narrative? Why would we even consider that? Because parents aren't supposed to lie about their child. That's why.
Before. Like, it's crazy. I don't understand. Like,
Well, he did sneak out at some point because he was outside the house, apparently underneath a car that he was caught by one of the people across the street. His son's girlfriend caught Sebastian. Then the dad came over, and there's no telling what he's been able to do.
The dad came over and what, Mr. Chris? What? What did that dad come to you and say? Because we actually know the truth, because Justin has talked to that person. And Justin tells us that they assumed at first it was possibly Sebastian. And he came to talk to you to tell you it was not Sebastian that was under that car. It was not him. But Mr. Chris doesn't want to put that out there because that would make it as if Sebastian didn't sneak out of the house and go hide under people's cars, right? That would hurt their narrative that they're trying to put out here. It's absolutely disgusting what they do. Let's use a little piece of this and a little piece of this. And hey, I'm partially telling the truth. But he doesn't complete that story to let you know it was not Sebastian. Sebastian was not under a car hiding. And it wasn't even the neighbor across the street either.
That you guys weren't even aware of. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
I mean, law enforcement knows Sebastian would be at the house by himself 2 to 3 hours a day by himself when he got out of school by the time Katie or I got home.
When the neighbors were questioned, did anyone say, oh, yeah, I have seen him? Because remember, one guy did on Dispatch. He said, the guy that lived on Honeysuckle said, I've seen that child walking, but not today. Do you think that other people that can...
So my problem with that is Honeysuckle. if you go look at the map, in order to get to Honeysuckle, he would have to literally walk down to Long Haul Pike, turn right, go to the next road over, and then turn right, go up Honeysuckle.
Unless he went through the back of the houses, because you
Can you
can.
cut through?
Yeah, if you're on Honeysuckle, you can see the turnaround.
You can see, but here's the problem: the terrain
Oh,
that drops
that's
off of
right.
the top of Honeysuckle is treacherous. Like you go down that, and I'm telling you, you've
Because
got
Honeysuckle's
very good
up on
odds
a
of breaking a
hill.
bone. Yes.
Yeah,
Guys.
it's elevated quite a bit.
Okay, Honeysuckle, the road they're talking about. If you go down to the end of Kate and Chris's street, there is a hill. And on top of that hill is another subdivision. I don't know if you recall, but Mr. Chris said the trash truck lights from the other subdivision that's up on the hill reflects down, and those are the 3 a.m. flashlights. If that hill is so steep and treacherous, a trash truck light would not point downward. It would point out. No way at all was it a trash truck up on Honeysuckle and their lights that created the 3 a.m. lights. And remember, a trash truck light does not separate itself from the rest of the trash truck lights, and one runs back to the back of Katie and Chris's backyard.
A bit.
So you
That's why you
literally
can
would have to
see
go
from
down to the main
Honeysuckle.
road.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Holly, yes, you're very correct on that. I thought the exact same thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot. Holly said, in my opinion, he's talking about Honeysuckle to troll because Donna, Reverend Donna, mentioned Honeysuckle in her reading. Exactly. Kaz, you're right. You can say whatever he wants, but the neighbors say a car was parked on Kellen at 3 a.m. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, I have to say, if excuse me, if you ask my dad, who's 82 and I'm 50, I'm gonna be 51. If you ask my dad right now, if I ever snuck out as a child, he would tell you no, I was a perfect kid.
Parent, because I don't know what he's doing up there, because it was just a respect thing. We don't
Oh,
intervene in
absolutely.
his household. He don't intervene in ours.
That's
You
how it
know,
was with my kids. I didn't know what they did at their dad's.
You know,
Unless someone got in
it's
trouble.
always,
I didn't know.
yeah, I mean, there was always that respect factor. There were some issues that we would tell, but other than that, I mean, I don't know what he, nor does Katie. We don't know what he was doing up there 12, 14-hour days by himself. I mean, he could be outside. I would like to think that when his dad told him not to go outside or do something, that Sebastian listened. But realistically, he is a teenager.
Mhm.
Do you see how they're setting this narrative here? The whole, he's a teenager. We all snuck out as teenagers, right? So let's put it on Seth, because supposedly he was at work. So if Seth would have gotten Sebastian, had him in his home, and went back to work, Sebastian could have took off. They're stretching, guys. They are stretching to create a narrative just to plant seeds in everybody's minds. I call bull again.
Mhm.
I mean,
Testing
there's
the
always a
boundaries.
possibility.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying Seth is a horrible parent. That's not. I don't want
No,
anybody to take anything from that. I just, realistically, we're all teenagers as kids, and there's not one perfect teen who never did anything.
For sure. And I don't necessarily think that sneaking out makes you a bad teen. I think that's pretty normal. The thing is,
Oh
like,
yeah, hell yeah. That's a
if
normal
he did sneak out like that night, what the freak happened that this time he didn't come back?
Right. And
No.
like last night we were watching, and that kid had talked to this guy on Tinder, and then they had given, exchanged Snapchat names. And he's like, don't worry, you don't even have to. I think he said, don't worry, something about don't wear your shoes, or don't worry about putting on shoes, or something like that. He left his keys, his wallet, everything. All he took with him was his phone. And he had every intention. You can tell he had every intention on going back home.
Oh, here's another narrative. He was on Snapchat. Oh, no, Tinder on this one. Who in the world sees Sebastian being on Tinder, where he's just gonna, don't worry about putting shoes on and meet me outside? Well, guess what? There's proof Sebastian was not outside of his house in the front at all. I call bull again.
Then he never went back. Obviously,
Crazy.
something happened, but
Well, that's what I would say. I mean, we've all snuck out as kids. It's just we always came home, you know. So yeah, I just don't understand how people can't think that that is a possibility. You know, I mean, I know why the
Well,
YouTubers
because
are doing
cheesy,
it.
if we snuck out, we usually snuck out with people, right? To go
Yeah.
be with people. So I guess if he was sneaking out, where was he going?
Right.
And was it with anybody else that we don't know? You know what I mean? Like, it's just wild.
Well, we
Exactly, Cass. Exactly. Last year, he couldn't break a 20 or board a bus. Now he's on Tinder. Go figure. Go figure. They're crazy.
didn't have the opportunity to have a cell phone in our hand and be talking to people across the street or the neighborhood. We had
True.
the cords that were stuck to the wall half the time. Hell, I mean, we just barely got cordless.
Well, I
phones.
just wonder because, you know, Sebastian was seen in front of his window, right? That night.
His silhouette was seen in the window.
Oh, Mr. Chris admits there was a shadow, a silhouette in Sebastian's bedroom window.
Right. So, like, was he looking out at somebody or something? So many questions.
It's
Yeah, so
scary,
many
just all the
questions and-
possibilities.
You know, I mean, with that being said, I'm looking forward to the airing of the America's Most Wanted missing person show to come out. Maybe that will reach a much larger audience, and hopefully it'll start generating some credible leads.
Do you see the narrative here? The narrative they're spilling out, people will come on. They will start listening to places that have Katie and Chris, the mother, the stepfather, and Seth talking. They will hear this interview. All these new people that are going to generate from America's Most Wanted interview. And here they're spinning narratives for all the new people that's going to latch onto this case. It's insane, guys.
I agree.
Oh, I hope so.
How long is the segment? Do you know how long it is?
Not off the well. If I remember correctly, it's supposed to be. I think it's like 1 hour, a 1 hour show, and I think they're covering 2 or 3 cases in that hour, so to speak. That's if I remember.
Yes, Mohawk Mom says, and she is correct. That was not the window. It was either the dining room window or the laundry window. Also, the plantation shutters would have had to been open to see the shadow. His bedroom has the plantation shutters on them. But, you know, hey, let's not mention that because that's not part of their narrative.
I remember correctly. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's what they had mentioned.
I think it's great that all three of you participated, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've heard. I mean, it was great from what I was told.
yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
I'm excited to watch it too.
Yeah,
You said the end of
I'm
April?
still excited.
Yeah, is there a date yet?
Not yet. I was just last I've heard, sometime toward the end of April, maybe the beginning of May, but I think they're pushing for the end of April somewhere.
I saw an ad that the first show airs April 21st, episode 1 of their new season.
See, I don't know if he'll be on the first episode or what. I mean, I'm just honestly, I was ecstatic when we got the call. You know, and then not long after that, we got a phone call from Dateline to do that article, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that was
Okay, let's all remember whenever that comes out, let's all recall and do not forget Seth allowed them to come into his home, film inside of his home, film Sebastian's bedroom, to see what his life was like there, to see what kind of kid he was. Katie and Chris do not allow people to come in to their home. They go other places. There has, out of all these interviews that we see them with our eyes, have not been filmed in Katie and Chris's home, except for the Shades of Olivia. Her interview with them sitting at the table is the only one. But they did not allow her to walk into his room. And my question is, Katie, Chris, why? Why will you not let that happen? And don't tell me it's nobody's business. It's a personal preference. Give us the real reason. Because I have questions. Is there anything of Sebastian's left?
And that was good too. Body Movement said, Chris, did they take your internet router or look at the logs for foreign devices?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
Okay, folks, pay very, very good attention to this. When he is asked a question about routers and stuff, he's going to say, they looked at every ping in that neighborhood over the past 30 days, from the day Sebastian went missing back 30 days. I'm going to tell you, folks, they did the 25th and the 26th. They are not going to dig back for 30 days because every person that came in that neighborhood to visit would be on there. Every delivery driver, whether it was UPS, FedEx, the mailman, a new mailman's car, a trash truck with all of their workers on it and their cell phones, all these phones, the Uber drivers, they're all going to ping. The days that are the most important. And remember Mr. Chris saying on Elevated Truth, the 25th and the 26th. Those are the days that they were looking into. Turquoise, they may have. I was told differently, but they very well could have. I have not gotten anything from her, specifically from Olivia. So thank you for sharing that with us. But why would they want to go back 30 days? When he went missing, either on the 25th, because that's the last time he was seen, and the 26th. And they're only going to go up until the time they arrived. They're not going to sit there and go for days after. They're going to stay vigilant with those 2 days. And on Truth's panel, Mr. Chris says those 2 days. But listen to this version.
Sure did. They brought in that little sniffer machine thingy, hooked up and looked at everything within the past 30 days of every signal in that area. Because that's how they were like, well, there's two signals that are unsecured. And I'm like, no, they're not. They were like, well, this one here says it is. And I said, you can log into it, but you ain't gonna get into it. And they said, well, it's unlocked. I said, try. And they tried. And I said, you're not gonna get into it. And they were like, why? Because that's my truck, and I'm the only one with that password. And they were like, oh. I'm like, exactly.
Mr. Chris is so arrogant. He talks to the cops like, you're not getting into it. Why does he feel so entitled to speak disrespectfully to the police? Okay, Justin reached out to Olivia. She says she talked with KP at the table, looked at the photos, and the guy was giving a tour of the house, even Sebastian's room, Lolly. Okay, that's good to know. Thank y'all for that. Because I had been told she wasn't allowed in there. So that's good to know. So yeah, here's Mr. Chris talking, being all arrogant. He ain't gonna let the police in. He's the only one with the password. Listen close to this
Hey,
next
Chris, will you
part.
look at back check real quick? Clue, you got quiet.
Cletus is
Yeah,
going to
she
ask
muted.
a question.
She's
She's
doing
doing
things.
her Gasha stone. Leave her alone.
She was.
Her what?
I do
Blue,
have a
I bought one. I'm guilty. I just got it 2 days ago. So I'm hoping it will help with my
I'm trying to tell
50-year-old wrinkles.
you better do it. Get you some castor oil.
I didn't use castor oil. Doesn't that clog your pores?
I mean, I don't have any more zits, but I know my lines are gone.
I do have a question, Chris. You said there were 2 unsecured signals, or whatever, however you put that.
Listen close.
And I know you said one of them was your truck. Can you speak on the other one? I mean, is there any interest in it?
So from what I understood, it was somebody else who had a device in the area that was normally not in the area. So it is either somebody who like may have had a phone or a hotspot that was visiting or something, because they went back 30 days. 30 days from the signals. From that day, from the 26th, they went back 30 days and looked. And then anything that was not in the area that was normal is what they were looking for. And out of everything they saw, there was 2 devices. My truck being one because it hadn't been there until a certain date, and then it reappeared on the 26th.
Yeah.
And then the other signal, I don't even know. I didn't give a shit about it just because they had said, well, it's not been here. So.
Oh, let's not give a shit about the other signal. He has a missing child. His stepson is missing in the middle of the night. And there's one unaccounted for ping. But he don't give a shit about it. One was his truck. He only cares about himself, folks. And if he did not just make that very plain and clear, that's ridiculous. He does not give a shit about the other signal. If Sebastian had ran away on his own and had a way of contacting someone or setting up a ride to get him out of the neighborhood, that could have been the other ping, because that's the narrative they're playing with here. But you heard his words. I don't give a shit about the other one. He doesn't care. Okay, so let me explain this. When you go to your Wi-Fi settings, if you're in an area that is populated, you turn on Wi-Fi settings and you look at all, you have to go into your phone and you have to go to your Wi-Fi settings. You will see those settings. Most of them will be locked down, but you will see Wi-Fi settings. That's what they're talking about. Your phones connect. It's like they shake hands saying, hey, I'm right here. Here's your, here's you a connection. And if you're in homes close together, yes, like Mohawk Mom said, I can hit my Wi-Fi setting and the neighbor, there's woods even between us, but the neighbor beside us, theirs shows up, but it's locked. But I'm going to go back just a tad because I want y'all to hear him say that one more time. Here we go. Listen close. Well, let me get it to play here.
I do have a question, Chris. You said there were 2 unsecured signals, or whatever, however you put that.
Yeah.
and I know you said one of them was your truck. Can you speak on the other one? I mean, is there any interest in it?
So from what I understood, it was somebody else who had a device in the area that was normally not in the area. So it is either somebody who like may have had a phone or a hotspot that was visiting or something, because they went back 30 days. 30 days from the signals. From that day, from the 26th, they went back 30 days and looked. And then anything that was not in the area that was normal is what they were looking for. And out of everything they saw, it was 2 devices. My truck being one because it hadn't been there until a certain date, and then it reappeared on the 26th.
Yeah.
And then the other signal, I don't even know. I didn't give a shit about it just because they had said, well, it's not been here. So.
Oh, so it was another device from earlier, not like in that time frame. It was from earlier, or further back in the previous 30 days. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. See, he didn't explain that at first. Cletus helped him with that narrative. Cletus helped him complete that narrative. But guys, I'm telling you, you are not going to get a search warrant for every signal for 30 days. 26 or 29 days, 28 days prior to him going missing is not going to find who picked him up and helped get him out of that neighborhood that night, that early morning time frame. Hey there, how you doing? Hi everyone coming in. I appreciate you all being here. But yep, folks, you heard it. Mr. Chris don't give a shit about that other unrecognized ping. And Cletus cleared it up by adding, oh, so that was earlier in the 30 days. Oh, yeah. This is a man with a missing child, and he don't care about that extra ping and who that might be. Yeah, he was there within that 30 days. You're right.
And it hadn't appeared back in the area.
Gotcha.
That's so wild that they could figure out like what devices were in that area.
It's like the geofencing they do.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Well, see, now I'm confused because Betty, you said they would only go back for the 48 hours, right?
Well, I mean, when Betty shows everybody her criminology degree, that would be great.
Like just to think if you drive through a neighborhood, you know, that you could be picked up, they know you were there by your.
Oh yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the weird thing. Like with today's technology, it's amazing how they know where you are. I don't care who you are. They know where you are. If you've got a signal device, cell phone, watches, hell, even hearing aids admit a signal. Because most
Oh, watches like a like a Apple Watch? Huh, isn't that something? Miss Katie had herself an Apple Watch. Yes,
most hearing
Karen.
aids have a Bluetooth transmitter in them.
Hi, Katie.
Yeah, they do.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Fine. Sorry, I
you.
didn't mean to.
It's been a while since I talked to you. I'm glad to talk to you.
Mr. Prophet, may I ask you a question?
Hey, girl, what's up, hon?
What kind of YouTube problems was Sebastian having? If you don't mind me asking, I'm not trying to get you mad or anything.
No. We're asking what problems?
You said Sebastian was having problems on YouTube?
Problems on YouTube.
So problems mean when we tell him to get off YouTube, he'll sit on YouTube for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Like we do.
Yeah, and he won't do his chores or he.
Listen real close to how Mr. Chris handles this situation. It will piss you off.
He'll want to sit in his bed at midnight and want to watch YouTube.
Like we do.
Yeah, I mean, and he's
normal. He's just like we are.
Yeah, he's in school. He's got a bedtime. Go to bed. If your mom tells you to do something and your face is stuck in that phone 24/7, there's a problem. I have a problem with children who sit on a device 24/7 and don't know how to go outside and find some fresh air. And
it's not good for him. It's not
Yeah.
good for him.
I agree.
So in order to fix that, when we told him to stay off and he'd sneak around and do it, well, we could just fix it. All right, no more YouTube.
That's right.
I have a niece who was like that, and she was always on her device with her headphones on. She was playing whatever games, talking to her friends on her headphones. I mean, she'd even do it at school and stuff. Well, she ended up not graduating. She doesn't have a job,
Wow.
you know, and it's like, and she's got some boyfriend over in New Jersey. We're in Minnesota. Have no clue about that, you know, but she's over 18. So what am I supposed to do, right? Well, she's not my kid either, but yeah, it's like, I'm frustrated with her. And I'm frustrated with her parents for not making her get off her, because now they're like, well, what do we do with her? You know, and I'm just like, this is your fault. You didn't control when she was electronics.
Well, I mean, I think at some point, all families that have these issues with these devices all have to take some sort of responsibility. Because,
Right.
I mean, think about when we were all growing up, when we didn't have all these devices, the parents were going outside, were going to parks, were taking the kids here and there. I mean, people were doing things like that. It's a proven fact of how much that has been reduced due to new age technology. I mean,
Such as conversation at dinner. I don't know. Let's use the Texas Roadhouse, for example. When your wife sat there on her phone more than she interacted with her own son. When she wasn't on her phone, she was more concerned about who was sitting at that front table rather than have a conversation with her son. And yet when she did have a conversation, he got very nervous. And then she went back to her phone. But that's okay, Mr. Chris, right? Shouldn't we all disconnect every so often, like while we're eating with our child?
It's crazy.
Best example, go to a restaurant, watch how many people sit on a device.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a question, trying to clear some stuff up. I see people talking about so his phone at home, or his internet access at home was locked down. And you said when y'all had caught him, you know, going on it anyway, like when did he get on like a lockdown? Like how long before he went missing would you say he was locked down?
I can't tell you the exact date because I don't know without looking. I mean, Ellie has his phone, so I can't even give you that answer. There were several, like two major times that I know of for a fact. I locked down his phone once. And
listen close.
It was an issue with Katie and Seth against me. So both of them against me because I locked it down. And they were like, well, how long is he going to be locked down? I said, till he learns.
The step parent of this young man has his mother and his father asking, when can their son have his phone back? Because it was completely locked down by the stepfather. And the mother and the father are asking, when can he have his phone back? Mr. Chris ruled everything. And he didn't give a shit if the mother of this child or the stepfather of this child wanted him to have access to his phone. It's unreal and disgusting.
And then one time, they finally said, look, it's been X number of time. Can he get it back? And I said, he needs to come and talk to me about it, not y'all. And Sebastian did come and ask, and we sat down and had a discussion. I said, okay, I'll unlock your phone. Do not make me regret this, please. Please prove to me and prove to everybody else that you can stay off of all the YouTube, and if you're told to do something, you can do it, and it won't be a problem. He said, yes, sir. He gave me his word. Okay. And then
the mother and the stepfather cannot come to Mr. Chris and say, give him his phone back. He's our child. Nope. Sebastian had to do that. He had to take responsibility for himself. But yet we see a mother and a stepfather who do not take responsibility for themselves. It's everybody else's fault. It's absolutely disgusting. And I call bull.
I don't remember exactly how much longer after the fact. And his mom told him to do something. He didn't listen. I said, all right, done. Right there. We're done. And I locked it back down again. And I mean, it's a proven fact. Like, if you're going to tell me you're going to do something, do it. But when you're not going to do it, you're going to go against it. All right, I'll just turn it off. I won't give you you won't have a reason to not listen to your parents. You just won't have YouTube.
Yeah, and the reason I thought, I felt like that was it was pertinent to me was trying to figure out, like, how long before he went missing could he have had, if he pre-arranged something, right? That's really kind of where I was going. But I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. I get that too.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know it sounds horrible. I don't really remember.
No, I mean, it don't sound horrible. It's been 13 months, and I'm sure it's
actually it's been 14 months for me.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Contrary to what everybody wants to believe, it's 14 months for me. It's 13 months for the other parents. I am 1 month ahead of them.
Oh, let's make this about Mr. Chris, the man who didn't like his stepson, the man who gave the mother the ultimatum, it's him or it's me. That was heard by a neighbor. Mr. Chris's words, it's him or it's me. But let's turn it back, because Mr. Chris, it's all about him, and he's had 1 month extra. Well, maybe that's your fault, Mr. Chris, because maybe, just maybe, that CPS report kept you out of your own house. I agree, Island. They did.
Despite what everybody wants to say, February 2nd, 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon was the last time I gave Sebastian a hug, and I told him it'd be good when he went to his dad's house. It's the last time I saw my stepson. Last time.
I'm sorry.
So, and I'm sure people are going to tear that shit apart, and I really don't care.
He doesn't care, folks. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care who drove the car with the pink. He doesn't care if the mother and the mother and the father of this young man get mad because he takes away the access for his phone. Me, and me. It's absolutely disgusting. Thank you, Serenity. Thank you, Bobby. And thank you, Holly S., for your super sticker, super chat. She says, my kids have a stepdad and he left the discipline to me. He would give his input. Exactly. Thank you for that. And let me play a little happy song for y'all, because y'all are so amazing and super, super sweet. Thank you. It means a lot. So, guys, there we go. That's enough of that. It just makes you angry. They quit talking about Sebastian, talk about other stupid stuff. Sebastian was left home for a couple of hours after he got out of school. I want to know if they had a house phone. Because if they did not have a house phone, and Sebastian did not have access to his phone, and something might have happened, this young man would have had no way to call out for help. What if he couldn't walk out his house to go to the neighbor to borrow their phone? It's unreal, the words he says. He does not even realize his words are hanging himself. His words make him look way worse than we thought he was the day before. Now, we remember when we just heard him say that supposedly Seth was at work. Okay, Chris said supposedly Seth was at work, right? Well, let's listen to something that was said early on, because I think y'all will enjoy this one. This is not in the description. I will have to add it in just a little bit. I caught it right before we went live, but this is Chronicles of the Shady. Kudos to her for catching this. And here we go, guys. Listen to Mr. Chris.
Chris, do you think that Seth had anything to do with the disappearance of his child?
No. Seth
100%
was,
at your soul, you don't believe
I
you,
don't
Katie,
feel
or
he
Seth.
does. No,
Okay.
absolutely not. And everybody will has their own opinions, but Seth was at work. After I got off the phone with law enforcement, I told Katie, I said, I'll call you right back. Next phone call, the next phone call I made was directly to Seth. Immediately. I called his phone, went to voicemail. I didn't leave a voicemail. I sent him a text. As soon as you get this, call me immediately. 911. Still to this day, that's exactly what I told him. And he called me, and I told him, and I'll never forget that conversation. I won't. Nope. But I told him. He went to the house. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
What?
I just don't know what people want. I mean, people are going to want their own answers and their own theories, but I promise you, it is very straight, black and white, no gray area. It's right down the middle.
And
Here it is.
Oh, wait, what was that? I wonder. Huh. So Chris himself just told us Seth had an alibi. He was at work. He does not think at all. At all. He thinks nothing of it. Does not think Chris himself says Mr. Seth had anything to do with the disappearance of his son. Now it is supposedly. That's how he plays this game. That's the narrative that he spills out without actually saying a lot. He puts it out there and people start questioning those words. We don't, because we don't believe a word he says. But the other side, you heard it from Cletus. Cletus helped him clarify the extra ping that he didn't give a shit about, because that was within the 30 days. But Mr. Chris told us himself on Elevated Truth, they looked to see what vehicles were in that area on the 25th and the 26th. I'm sorry, folks, but 2 days does not equal up to 30 days. So here we go with a whole nother story. Him and his wife just can't get their shit together, can they? It's unreal. And why do we question? Why do we look at them? You heard them on the other side. They just asked that whole narrative. Why? There's so many options of what could have happened to him. You're right. There's options. But guess what? The police have ruled out. Oh, are y'all there? Oh, I almost ended the stream. I was trying to get back to chat. Sorry. Anyways. Yeah. So also they would not look after the child went missing. You're right. They would not look, guys, afterwards. And what good is it going to see 30 days ago who came in and out of that neighborhood? They would still be going through every one of them today, probably. Just trying to verify. That would take forever. The most important days are that Sunday, because there was visible eyes on Sebastian. He was alive and he was with his mother on Sunday. Monday morning at 6 o'clock, supposedly, according to the mom, she went to wake him up and he wasn't there. So that is the most important time frame. Let's go a little bit back and a little bit up, and let's look at that as a group. They're not going to look at 30 days. Yes, Chris is a liar. And it's funny how they can't remember their last lie. It's not as if they're telling this narrative at the very beginning, and they're carrying that narrative forward. They try to adapt their narrative every time they open their mouth. And it's not working for them. It's just not. You can't sit here and tell us five different versions of what happened leading up to Sebastian going to bed, leading up to the time Katie went to bed, all the times that she was going to sleep. Guys, it's not possible. Not possible. It's not the truth. And yeah, I could see that. Locked and Loaded. Locked and Loaded said, I truly believe both Seth and Katie love their son very much. CP, not so much. His family, not so much. We heard his sister talking to Sebastian on that recording of his birthday outing. She talked to him as if she was disgusted with him. You could hear it. She had Mr. Chris's attitude. We've been told that Chris's mother and father takes all the grandkids on a trip to Disney, except for Sebastian. They wouldn't work around it to make it happen so that Sebastian can be one of their grandkids. I do not believe they saw Sebastian as a grandkid. They saw him as an attachment onto Katie. And although there are families that feel that way, there are a hell of a lot more families that say, you're part of us now. You're one of us. And they never get treated differently. It happens because people actually love the child that is brought into a marriage. And that child gains a whole new family that Sebastian really didn't. And it's absolutely horrible to listen to a stepfather tell the story of how he locked down the phone and the parents had to ask why. Why? When can our son get his phone back? No parent should have to ask their spouse or their son's step parent when their son can get the phone back. Neuro says, I'm so proud of my autistic young adult son. He can stay at college to finish his course for another year. Yay! That is awesome. Congrats to him. Way to go. That is amazing. And thank you for that, Neuro. I appreciate that. Sharing that news is amazing. I'm telling you, folks, I don't think Sebastian ever got praise like what he should have. Thank you, Neuro. You know, when all of this started, my heart broke. My heart broke for his mother and his father. Of course, at the very beginning, I wasn't sure about Mr. Chris. Didn't know anything about him. Didn't know anything about the mom or the dad. But anybody that's lost a child in any sort of way, it's heartbreaking. I can't imagine not knowing if your child's alive or not. If somebody has him, are they taking care of him? All those thoughts. My heart broke. I heard the first interview and I thought, okay, this sounds kind of, wouldn't a parent just try a little harder to search before you run and call the police that he's missing? Wouldn't you get out and look around and, what? I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't enough of that done. It was instantly called a stepfather, which caused law enforcement. But I didn't really put a lot into it. The next time I heard him speak, I was like, something's not right. Every time we hear him speak, it's more and more and more. Guys, when will it end? When will all the bullshit end that the mother and the stepfather keep putting out here? I honestly believe the stepfather is so arrogant. He's such an ass that he thinks he's gotten away with everything. I honestly believe that. That's my opinion of him right now. And I might be wrong. I might be. But what I hear, and if I ever had questions, ever questioned Mr. Chris on anything, it sealed the deal for me when he said my truck was one of those pings and I don't give a shit about the other one. Your child is nowhere in your neighborhood to be found. And you don't give a shit about one ping that's unaccounted for. He don't give a shit because he knows who that ping belongs to, in my opinion. He knows exactly what happened. And it's disgusting to hear a step parent who don't give a shit. His words, folks, not mine. Come at me all you want to. I'll play it again. His words. One of those pings was mine, and I don't give a shit about the other one. It was Cletus who helped him complete the narrative and create the 30 days. In the earlier part of the 30 days is when that ping happened. Yeah. They don't care, do they? They don't care. And in my opinion, the reason they don't give a shit about all this stuff, the reason they want us to think it was a man taking his trash down through the middle of the courtyard to get around to his driveway is because they know exactly where Sebastian is. They know exactly what happened to Sebastian. And I have a right to say that because that is my opinion. And it is a process of elimination that I have concluded. Yeah, I'll play it one more time. But it's a process of elimination over the past 13 months. And there's stories that change. The truth doesn't change. But yet their stories do. You can't do all of those things that you tell us you've done. You can't tell us 2 days, the 25th and 26th, they're looking at all the pings. And he got really pissed about that because it insinuated his pinged on the 25th. So he went on panel with an attitude to correct all of that. Now it's 30 days. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Okay, I'm going to play that again where he says that so everybody can hear it. Make sure everybody does because it needs to be heard. Okay, let me get to where it was here. It's going to be somewhere like right around here, I think. Let's see.
hoping it will help with my
I'm trying to tell
50-year-old wrinkles.
you better do it.
It's right in here. Listen.
I didn't use castor oil. Doesn't that clog your pores?
I mean, I don't have any more zits, but I know my lines are gone.
I do have a question, Chris. You said there were two unsecured signals, or whatever, however you put that.
Yeah.
And I know you said one of them was your truck. Can you speak on the other one? I mean, is there any interest in it?
So from what I understood, it was somebody else who had a device in the area that was normally not in the area. So it is either somebody who like may have had a phone or a hotspot that was visiting or something, because they went back 30 days. 30 days from the signals. From that day, from the 26th, they went back 30 days and looked. And then anything that was not in the area that was normal is what they were looking for. And out of everything they saw, it was two devices. My truck being one because it hadn't been there until a certain date, and then it reappeared on the 26th.
Yeah.
And then the other signal, I don't even know. I didn't give a shit about it just because they had said, well, it's not been here. So.
Oh, so it was.
Oh, let's listen to Cletus.
It was another device from earlier, not like in that time frame. It was from earlier, or further back in the previous 30 days. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And it hadn't appeared back in the area.
Gotcha.
Oh, did everybody hear that? Did y'all hear that real good and clear? Because Mr. Chris, let's go back and listen just one more time. He don't give a shit, folks.
And they were like, oh, I'm like, exactly.
Hey, Chris, will you look at back check real quick?
Yeah,
Chloe, you got
he had
quiet?
just.
Yeah, she muted. She's doing
She's in
things.
her Gasha stone. Leave her alone.
She was. I do have
I bought one. I'm guilty. I just got it 2 days ago. So I'm hoping it will help with my
I'm trying to tell
50-year-old wrinkles.
you better do it. Get you some castor oil.
I didn't use castor oil. Doesn't that clog your pores?
I mean, I don't have any more zits, but I know my lines
Hang
are gone.
on, let's get through the muddle.
I do have
here.
a question, Chris. You said
There
there were
you go.
two unsecured signals, or whatever, however you put that.
Yeah.
And I know you said one of them was your truck. Can you speak on the other one? I mean, is there any interest in it?
So from what I understood, it was somebody else who had a device in the area that was normally not in the area. So it is either somebody who like may have had a phone or a hotspot that was visiting or something, because they went back 30 days. 30 days from the signals. From that day, from the 26th, they went back 30 days and looked. And then anything that was not in the area that was normal is what they were looking for. And out of everything they saw, it was two devices. My truck being one because it hadn't been there until a certain date, and then it reappeared on the 26th.
Yeah.
And then the other signal, I don't even know. I didn't give a shit about it just because they had said, well, it's not been here. So.
Oh, so it was another device from earlier, not like in that time frame. It was from earlier, or further back in the previous 30 days. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And it hadn't appeared back in the area.
Gotcha.
Okay, folks. There you have it. Mr. Chris's words. His words, not my words. I don't give a shit. And Cletus helped him explain it was in the 30 days earlier. Let's make sure the narrative sounds good. Adjusted the time when they called the police also. Yeah, it was from 6:03 to 6:33, a 30-minute timeline. Yes, yes, and yes. What a mampy baby Cletus. Yeah. Yeah. But that's what they do over there. Chris said something that leaves a little, ooh. So they're going to explain it to everybody to make it crystal clear. That's what they do. He doesn't give a shit, folks. I call bull. I call bull because that man is probably getting very nervous. He's so arrogant that he knows they're looking into him real close. But he's so arrogant, he thinks he's going to outdo the cops. Just like in that video we just listened to, he says, you're not getting into that ping. You're not going to get into it. He said, try it. Told the cops, try. And they said they couldn't get into it. And he said, that's right. That's my truck. I'm the only one with that password. You're not getting it. Basically, in your face. You're not getting into mine. Yeah, he thinks he can. Yes. Yeah, Brian. There was that other car that had a ping. Hey, he said he didn't give a shit about it. There was no 30 days search for the pings. There was 2 days. There was Sunday and there was Monday morning. That's the timeline they looked at. That's the timeline Mr. Chris told on Elevated Truth. Mr. Chris's words, the 25th and the 26th. He got pissed because people might have assumed his truck pinged on the 25th. So he came up super pissy and clarified his truck pinged on the 26th when he came home from Memphis. Not the 25th. His words, guys. I'm not making this shit up. These are his words. Yes, Island High, I agree with you. This was a well planned out and they had outside help to pull it off. Exactly. Yep, Caroline. I agree. I'm telling you. These are his words, folks. And you heard them in that chat trying to create a narrative that Sebastian is a teenage boy. He ran away like all of the kids get out and sneak out. Mr. Chris even tells a story of Sebastian being under a car, a neighbor's car. The neighbor came to him and then he goes on to another subject because he didn't want to say that neighbor came to say that was not Sebastian under his car that was found earlier. Had nothing to do with Sebastian, but Mr. Chris is going to make it seem that way. Looky here, guys. Looky here. Mystery Sky. Thank you so much. She gifted 10 memberships, guys. If you were a lucky one to get a membership, please tell Mystery Sky, thank you so much. That is so gracious of her. And we are so excited to have you guys with us. Let's welcome everybody to the South. Welcome, y'all.
Welcome. Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a right and get down? Welcome to the South.
Thank you so much, Mystery Skies. I love seeing the membership grow. That is so exciting. Thank you. And welcome everybody to the Lollipops. I wish I could play that song, Lollipop, Lollipop, but I can't. I get struck down. So anyways. So guys, always keep in mind that the story we get from Sebastian's mom and a whole lot of the story we get from his stepfather, take it with a grain of salt, because he's probably already told parts of that a whole different way in the earlier days. So yeah, a little crazy, isn't it? Yes, he is all up on Mob Crew, isn't he? He don't like Mob Crew. But Mob Crew's debunked everything they've said, everything their private investigator has put out. Mob Crew has said, oh, no. No. Wait a second. Let me show you the truth. It makes you want to go to Buc-ee's. Rita, that's funny. Yeah, and he did tell Mob Crew to come to him, and he would go search with him. He just needs to be very careful because things happened. He straight up threatened Mob Crew. I know, Gemini. I don't know how to do that, though. I don't know how to do all those personalized music songs. So I picked one from a guy that I know that has a lot on YouTube, and I use it. But yeah, guys, it's insane. Like I said, I'm sorry if y'all have heard all that. I wanted to make sure everybody here on this channel heard it because it's big. It's important. His words are going to get him in trouble. And I love it when he talks. Yeah. You're right, Mohawk Mom. Mob Crew, okay, is the one that got the picture of Katie going down Kellen at 6:32:21, the morning of the 26th of February last year. That's Katie's car. That's her driver's side window all the way rolled up. Back windows all the way up. And you have her at 6:32. Guys, it took her 30 seconds. And look, the driver's side passenger window and back passenger window are rolled up. 31 seconds to drive down the street to look for her child. That ain't looking for her child. And this right here pissed him off big time. Pissed him off. But hey, that's her car. That's the timestamp on the Ring camera. Katie wasn't looking for her son. She wasn't hollering out to him. She wasn't stopping between every house to look. She was making an appearance, being seen on that road as if she was looking. People look for their animals, their cats and their dogs better than Katie looked for her missing son. And why? Why would she do that? Probably because she knew her son was not there in that neighborhood. She knew. She knows exactly what happened to Sebastian, in my opinion. Katie holds the key to all of it. The mother of a missing child who now has a criminal defense lawyer. She knows. Somehow, some way, she was part of it. Oh, looky here, Outer Banks. Oh, got the wrong one. Outer Banks says isn't it suspicious in the beginning Sebastian didn't have any internet access. Now he's singing YouTube. Of course. Isn't that crazy? I mean, either the child had it or he didn't have it. Or he was allowed to have internet access some of the time. But Mr. Chris was very adamant at the very first. No internet access whatsoever. Hey, that truth slips out of there sometimes, right? Thank you for that, Outer Banks. I appreciate you so, so much. That is so sweet. And you are so appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. That little kid makes me laugh. I don't know if I can explain it. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, y'all are talking between yourselves. Oh, Brianna, yes, they are disgusting. Oh, she makes bank. Y'all, I'm telling you, Clue had him on right after the court they had. Her thing was hollering out so much. I know that woman she made over $1,000 in just super chats. But we're grifting over here. We're grifting. Yeah, same as Chris said. Seth could come get Sebastian's PlayStation, then says no because it was hacked. No, it was hacked with no access or internet or Wi-Fi. The stories just grow. I'm surprised their nose is not touching the screens of their computer every time they talk. It is absolutely horrible. Yeah, that's not counting the Cash App, PayPal, or the Venmo. You're right. But we're the ones grifting, guys. We're the ones grifting. It's insane. And you saw in Queen's chat a while ago, all those green, those are members. Those are paying members. And mine's cheap. My membership's $199. Theirs is not that cheap. And those YouTube creators who are off of YouTube, you know, the TikTok creators that came over here and stirred up trouble, and then they're running with their tail tucked a little bit. They go into chat and they gift 200 members, 100 members. Folks, I'm telling you, they are the grifters. They are the ones that collected money for billboards and yet did not show a receipt at all. People didn't actually see billboards. There was a billboard here and there that was seen, and they weren't up for very long. But yet now, because of that night, we can say anyone going to the Philadelphia Phillies baseball game, and they pack them out. We're talking 3,000 to 5,000 people up in those places. And everybody's going to see Sebastian's face. It's amazing. That is wonderful. That's what we need more of. So, Barbecue gave her 200 in a super chat. You're right, Mohawk. It's unreal. They pass money around over there like crazy. Like crazy. But you know what? I'm not worried because we're the ones doing the right work. We're the ones doing the right thing. We're the ones over here saying, okay, this is about Sebastian. All these words that you're saying, Mr. Chris, that we just listened to. Oh my goodness, Justice Mama, thank you. Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Thank you. But all these words that these parents are saying, the mother and the stepfather, are not making sense. And we're talking about it. We're showing how they say this one time and this another time. What is it? Because if you're telling the truth, you're going to tell the same story. What was he really wearing? And I have something I want to play real quick before we get out of here. I forgot about this part. I was going to play this for y'all because I found this very interesting. It's an interview with Craddock. And it was at the very, very, very beginning part of all this. Someone asked about him leaving home with no shoes on. Listen very close to Craddock and what he says about it. Because I wonder if from the very beginning, they're not sure they were getting the correct story to start with. Here we go.
Let us know.
And do you guys know, I know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture on these could be his shoes, or is that something he is supposed to be barefoot?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
What? I'm not going to say he's barefooted. What I can say is the mom said all of his shoes are accounted for, but I'm not going to say he was barefooted. That was at the very beginning. That was when we started learning he was barefooted. And even Craddock questioned that. I thought that was pretty interesting. But, well, guys, I'm going to let y'all get off of here. Tomorrow, I'm going to probably do 2 lives. One of those is going to be a members live. So if you are a member, make sure that you join us tomorrow so that you can get in on the members live. It will probably be around this time that I do the members live. And so I'll try to wait till later in the afternoon. Let me get on here real quick, and I'm going to give some memberships. So that way we've got everybody can come and join us for the members live. Hang on. Computer's slow today. But I do, in the meantime, want to say thank you to everybody that was here and joined us today. We really appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Hold on. I pushed play instead. Y'all don't need to be hearing me twice. Lordy, lordy. Okay, here we go. All righty. Here we go with some memberships. There's memberships. And let's just go ahead and get them all out of the way here. Here we go. There's 5 more coming. All righty. Whoop, whoop. There we go. So everybody that has a membership will be able to join us tomorrow for a members live. We're going to do the call in. Y'all can come in and call in with questions. We'll talk about anything. Bring your notes, bring all your things, because if you have a question, we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure it out. So welcome everybody to the membership.
Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. You gotta get it right and get down. Welcome to the South.
Welcome everybody. All righty, so y'all be on the lookout. Yes, Outer Banks. I'm glad you got one. Yay, welcome everybody. And thank y'all for always being here. I love it having y'all. I'm so proud that we can sit here and have this conversation, listen to things. Everybody can put out their whole opinions. You know, I thought Olivia did not get to go see Sebastian's room, and I had 2 in chat that actually corrected that. That's what it's about, guys. Let's get the right information. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Let's fix that. That's what this is about. I don't come on here with behind the scene knowledge of every tiny detail of this case. So it's what it is. But thank you guys for being so gracious and so loving in chat. I appreciate every one of you so much. Oh, thank you, Kai. Or Kiki. I just read the first two. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Love Wins, for being here. Love you so much. I appreciate everybody. And keep in mind always, Sebastian is the reason we're here, guys. It's all about him. It's not always about Mr. Chris, though he tries hard to make it that way. So I'll see y'all out on the streets and look for lives tomorrow. I'm going to do 2. Love and hugs. See you all tomorrow. Bye.